Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a real breakdown of what actually builds a successful professional life. You know that feeling, right? Spending years poring over textbooks, passing those brutal exams, and mastering the intricate technical details of your chosen field. But here's the secret that nobody really tells you in school. Your technical qualifications, they're only part of the career equation. We're going to explore the absolute necessity of what we call soft skills and why they're the ultimate decider of your professional destiny. It's a scenario that literally haunts recent grads. Why do candidates with perfect grades still fail to get the job? It's super frustrating. You check every single technical box. Your resume looks absolutely flawless on paper. Your professors loved you, but you just keep facing rejection after rejection out there in the real world. Well, understanding exactly why this happens will completely shift how you view your own skill set. To get a handle on this, we're going to follow the life cycle of career development step by step. First, the anatomy of skills. Then, surviving the recruitment filter. Next, success beyond the interview. And finally, adapting for long-term growth. All right, let's jump right into part one, the anatomy of skills. Now, soft skills, which in the original Bengali source are beautifully referred to as sohayok dokota, translating to supportive skills, are the abilities required to interact, communicate, and work harmoniously with others in both personal and professional environments. Think about it for a second. Whenever humans gather to get literally anything done, we need a way to connect, to exchange ideas, and to manage our collective efforts. That whole social and operational bridge, those are your soft skills. You can honestly just think of them as life skills because they apply just as much at the family dinner table as they do in the corporate boardroom. The author uses this incredibly visual analogy that I absolutely love. Imagine your hard skills, things like medical science for a doctor, coding for a programmer, or tax laws for an accountant, as the skeleton of the human body. Those hard skills are your structural foundation. If you don't know medical science, well, you simply can't be a doctor. You have no skeleton. But a skeleton alone isn't a functioning human, is it? Your soft skills, like communication, empathy, and teamwork, are the flesh, the skin, the organs. They're what actually bring the body to life and allow it to interact with the outside world. You absolutely need both. They're perfectly complementary. Moving right along to part two, surviving the recruitment filter. The recruitment funnel presents a pretty sobering reality. Let's say a major institution has a job opening. Step one, they might receive 5,000 initial applications. 5,000. They scan the degrees, the GPAs, and those hard skills, and boom, we drop down to step two, where only 100 people are selected for an initial interview or a written test. Then, out of those 100, the field drastically narrows down again in step three to just the top 10 or 20 finalists. So the crucial takeaway here is this. Your hard skills, that perfect GPA, they merely act as your entry ticket. They're just the basic prerequisites that barely get you past that very first massive filter. So I want you to step directly into the shoes of the hiring manager for a second. Imagine you're staring down at these 10 or 20 final candidates. They all went to great schools, they all passed the technical tests. On paper, their skeletons look exactly the same. If you were the interviewer making that final high-stakes decision, who would you choose? How do you even begin to separate them? The author points out that at this final stage, the interviewer actually stops looking at your textbook knowledge entirely. Instead, they start asking things like, can this person speak well and organize their thoughts clearly? Will they mesh with my existing team? Are they patient when things go wrong? Do they show a genuine eagerness to learn and take on responsibility? Are they trustworthy? As you can clearly see, these ultimate deciding factors are completely based on soft skills. Your degree got you into the room, sure, but your soft skills are what actually convince the hiring manager to hand you the contract. Which brings us to part three, success beyond the interview. Okay, so you got the job. Once you're hired, your technical skills immediately become the absolute baseline expectation. We obviously expect the accountant to know math, right? But working in any modern organization means navigating a highly multifaceted environment. Every single day, you're dealing with diverse teams, demanding buyers, strict regulatory bodies, varied clients. It's a lot. Just knowing your technical craft is simply not enough to survive here. You've got to actively problem solve, negotiate, and interact with all these moving parts. Now, if your job consists of purely isolated tasks, like sitting in a room completely alone and just churning out a product without ever talking to a single soul, then yeah, hard skills alone might suffice. But modern team environments require a much broader toolkit to actually thrive. They require digital literacy, because life without technology is basically impossible now. They require global skills, because in our era of globalization, you're collaborating with people of entirely different nations, religions, and backgrounds. Essentially, when you join a company, you're joining a vibrant, multicultural micro-society, and you need robust social tools to navigate that society successfully. Finally, let's look at Part 4, Adapting for Long-Term Growth. The source material actually provides a massive list of over 30 different soft skills, but there are a few absolutely crucial ones we need to highlight. If you become a team leader, you suddenly need leadership and emotional intelligence. When things inevitably break, and they will, you need problem solving and stress tolerance. And as the world changes around you, you need adaptability. Why do these specific skills matter so much? Because these are the exact factors that dictate whether a professional just stagnates in an entry-level role for their entire life, or whether they grow, evolve, and step up into the highest levels of leadership. And this brings us to the core thesis of this whole explainer. From the start of your professional life to the very end, the importance of soft skills continues to grow day by day. Let me emphasize that. The importance grows. Soft skills aren't just a one-time trick you use to ace an interview. They are a continuously compounding requirement. As you get promoted, you'll actually spend way less time doing the technical, skeleton work yourself and far more time managing, communicating with, and guiding the flesh and blood people who do. So I want to leave you with a final thought today. Your technical skills might get you the interview, but do your soft skills prove you're truly ready for the job? It's a powerful shift in perspective, isn't it? If you want to really stand out, integrate smoothly into a team, and lead others, you need to start intentionally building that flesh and skin over your technical skeleton. Focus on your communication, your empathy, and your adaptability just as much as your degrees. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the anatomy of a career, and keep on learning.